My name is H.A. Goodman, and I'm an author, columnist, and journalist. To support this YouTube channel, go to my Patreon link below, subscribe to this channel, check out my latest book, Debunking the Trump-Russia Myth, and my latest article in the Daily Caller is out today, shared everywhere. Tony Podesta may be Mueller's next big target. This is really important. Al Franken has apologized for, well, I'll let Leanne Tweeden explain what Al Franken did to her.
You have chosen to tell this story really for the first time publicly. So let's start first. Who is your abuser?
Senator Al Franken.
So Al Franken, the senator from Minnesota. Now, the incident, as I understand it, took place prior to his term in office. He wasn't in the Senate when this happened.
Correct. It was in 2006. We were going on a USO tour. It was my 9th tour that I was going on, my 8th to the Middle East. A lot of people who know me know I'm a big supporter of our troops. That's something that's been my passion, my privilege for a long time. My husband is currently a pilot in the Air Force. My dad served in Vietnam. So this is something that's always been, everybody gets behind something. That's what they love to support and do, and something that has been my passion has been supporting the troops. So that's what I've always given my time to. So that particular year, the Sergeant Major of the Army sponsored this tour, and Al Franken was the one of the headliners of the tour, and I was going as the MC, and I wasn't a singer or a dancer, so I go and MC since I'm a host, and since he wasn't a singer or a dancer, a musician, a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader that danced, he was also going to be a co-MC. So that was the first time I'd ever gone on a tour where somebody was going to co-host with me. But since he was an actor on SNL, and that's how a lot of people knew him, and a lot of the kids in the crowd knew him, he decided to, he wrote, he was also a writer on SNL.
Yeah, principally.
He wrote skits for himself to do, and he brought a lot of props, and, he did a Saddam Hussein skit, which was actually very funny that the troops enjoyed. And he brought, facial hair and stuff that the prop department from SNL gave him, he said, and stuff like that. But when he introduced himself, when we met in Washington, D.C., before we all flew over, he said, when I found out you were coming on this tour, I wrote a little scene, if you will, with you in it, if you would like to do it with me, if you want to play along. And I said, okay, fine, sure, I'm game, whatever. And he gave me the script, and it was full of sexual innuendos, and it was supposed to be funny, because largely our military is young male men, and fine, okay, I can play along with that. And of course there was a kissing scene that he wrote in for him to kiss me, and in my mind, I was never actually going to kiss Al Franken.
Yeah, it was a comedy kiss.
Oh, right, exactly. I mean, it's like in the vein of Bob Hope, right? He was going to come at me. I was either going to turn my head, or I would cover his mouth, or whatever. It was like a gag thing, right? Mm-hmm. So fine, whatever. So you're in country you're in theater for a couple of days. You go around, you entertain the troops, you meet them where they work, and you sign autographs and stuff. So the day of our first show in Kuwait is where we started out before we went further into Iraq and Afghanistan. We were getting ready for our very first show. And so we're backstage, and because everybody else was either forward in the front of the stage doing, setting up or getting ready to do, waiting to go on or whatever, Al and I were backstage waiting to go on, and we had a little makeshift backstage area, which basically was the gym for these troops, and they had a little place cordoned off for us. And Al came up to me and he's like, well, we need to rehearse our kiss. And I'm like, yeah, okay. And I just blew him off, because I'm thinking, we don't need to rehearse the kiss. I mean, we're doing a live, 60-second skit in front of troops. We're not filming a movie, right? And so I blew him off because I didn't think he was serious. And then he kind of said it again. He's like, well, we need to rehearse the kiss, Leanne. And I'm like, okay, Al, okay, you turn your head to the right, I'll turn my head to the right. Okay, we got this. And he actually got more, excuse me, I have to take a drink of water. I'm getting nervous. It's funny. as I tell this, I'm getting worked up and I'm shaking. But it reminded me, remember we played the Harvey Weinstein when the girl in New York actually wore the wire, and we listened to him, and the only audio we heard of Harvey Weinstein, and he was very aggressive and very relentless.
Just go up to the room with me. Just go up. Just go up for 5 minutes.
Yes, it was relentless. That's what I could hear in his voice, right? He started getting relentless, and I'm like, why is he insisting that we have to rehearse the damn kiss? I mean, it's like a fake kiss, right?
Yeah.
This is all I could think about. I'm like, good God, Al, it's not SNL, for goodness sakes, right? We're not doing this thing for real. This is just a live thing in front of troops. It doesn't matter, And he's like, Leanne, actors, we have to rehearse everything. You have to rehearse the kiss. And just to make it go away and to make him stop, I'm like, okay, well, rehearse the damn kiss, And it happened so fast that as I'm like, okay, we're going to rehearse the kiss, and as we're coming in, and I come in towards him, we rehearse the line, and the line leading up to the kiss, we rehearse the line, and I'm coming towards him, and he comes up and he grabs me, and he puts his hand behind my head, and he aggressively comes in, and he mashes his mouth up against mine, and he sticks his tongue in my mouth. And as it happens so fast, and he puts his tongue in my mouth, and his mouth is just wet and slimy, and to this day I call them fish lips, okay, because it's disgusting. And it's like, and how I describe it in my mind is like, when you're holding a treat for your dog, and I own a dog, and they're salivating while you're holding the treat, that's just what it reminds me of.
Well, it's an incredible violation.
Of course. And my husband now was my boyfriend then. All I could think about is, why would somebody do that? He's married. I've got a boy. It was just, I was violated. I was disgusted. That's not what I was expecting. All I could think about was, that's what you wrote that in the script for, so you could do that to me? I was angry. I wanted to punch him in the face. I mean, so many things were going through my mind.
Did you tell anybody about it?
No, I didn't.
Share this segment everywhere. I put the link to the Doug McIntyre show. Share the segment everywhere. Al Franken needs to resign, needs to be forced out of Congress. Give me your thoughts below. Al Franken must resign or be forced out. And that's a fact. Give me your thoughts below. Thank you so much for listening.